Streaming.
3, 2, 1, go.
Wait for crashes, and wait for crashes, and wait for crashes.
Just like Anarchy Online, you stand and wait for the world to load after walking through one door.
Just
On
like
the new engine, anyways.
I did get an RPG today. I did buy one that came out today in Europe. You know Kingdom Hearts?
Yes,
I
I'm very familiar.
Well, the remix, the 1.5 and 2.5 remix came out with a HD movies for like 40 quid. So I'm like, 40 quid for that? Look at the counter. I played some of this back on the PS2. Yeah, I'll pick that up.
Is it too loud, Simmer? Are we too loud? Can you hear us?
Too
Too
many
loud.
years.
Too many years? Keep it secret, keep it safe. Are we alright?
Buy my shit from fucking Scrubland. What even is this?
Scrubland is the bestest of scrubs.
Wow.
So
And
if we
people, if you're wondering, you're going to be enjoying wonderful footage of a stream that I did with Hergelman of the forest,
Yes.
which is going to be mainly
Splendiferous.
dark half the time because we didn't
Yeah, it's
know
just pitch black like 80% of the time, which is fine.
hey, if it works, it works. But if we're ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
because this is like the pre-show preamble, while we're trying to see whether a special guest that's potentially been on or wanted to come on last week but couldn't.
So it's the pre-show preamble ramble. We named it.
Yeah, but I slept since then. You know, stuff goes on here that just makes things just fly out. So yeah, right. But I'm going to say, welcome everyone to episode 38 of the Game One Play Itself podcast. I'm Will McKellar, aka La Teamaker. Joining me, as always, up there is James Atkinson.
Hi everybody. We actually are not moving around spaces anymore. I finally got a layout that I'm happy with.
Oh, so we've hit that bit. We've hit that
Punisher
little
on
mellow
YouTube.
thing.
Nice.
Nice. Hello, welcome, Punisher. And also joining us up there, see up there, is the one and only Chris Hagelman.
I'm actually a myth.
Your imaginary friend that only us can hear.
More or less, yeah. Only people on this channel. And my channel. That's the only place where I exist. Zero
And then that
presence anywhere else in the universe.
Oh, so you're sort of in limbo. You're sort of in that little bit. You're not dead.
Yeah, I'm a ghost.
You're just waiting, dormant.
Danny Phantom.
Or like I was gonna go a little bit more something along the lines like he's kind of like the time traveler's wife, except like he's the time traveler that just shows up randomly for podcasts and streams. I mean, it's technically, isn't it like Schrodinger's streamer? Like at any point in time, especially with the delay, he could be alive or could be dead.
It's true.
If he's not streaming, you can't tell if he's alive or dead.
That would make a phenomenal episode of Black Mirror, which is what I was watching until like 5 minutes ago before we
Well,
started.
I think we have an idea we have to pitch.
I think we do.
See, I was thinking he was like the littlest Hergelman. You know, there's a cast that keeps on calling me. On the stream is where I'll always be. That's what I thought anyway. But on tonight's show, we have a bit of news, talking a little bit about Rezzed and what we've been playing, and then, you know, shout outs. And if our guest is available, he might just jump in and then we can talk to him a bit about what he's been up to, what they're doing. But you know what? Let's start with a bit of news. And I think it's only one bit this week, isn't it? Unless you guys have got something.
Destiny 2. Destiny
Destiny
2.
2.
That's Destiny 2. Yeah, Destiny 2 on PC. That's, you guys are only going to hear me talk about it for 5.5 months, guys. So
I don't use the news.
So yeah, Destiny 2 on PC. It's a thing. Nathan Fillion's funny. You should get it. Play with, I'm not saying that I want people to play Destiny with, but I'm really lonely. And I could
Yes.
really
Like just
use
as
some
a,
people.
as a general statement.
Yeah,
really.
just as a general statement. I'm just lonely and depressed, and I could really use some friends to play Destiny.
So he's like, please please do it, please do. Because, sorry, it ain't gonna be me. I can tell you that right now. But
I will pre-order it. I will play the demo, the beta of it, or the beta, depending on where you are in the world.
Bate, as
the
one might say.
bate, the bate.
better.
Do you like the bate? I'm kind of in and out on bates. I don't like the splashback you get from it.
It's just like always a huge.
Lonely Destiny player seeks
With GSOH.
Yes. But
LFF, looking for friends.
looking for friends.
But what you could also do while you're there, and if you're playing Destiny with James or on PC and you're streaming it on Twitch, and if he's partnered by that time, which could happen, maybe we have time, you could be getting some Twitch crates which are coming soon, and basically the juicy details of them are any purchase on Twitch of a game or in-game item worth $4.99 or more will earn the person a Twitch crate. Now think of these as your own personal treasure chest filled with loot, which you can open them right away or hoard them for later in your inventory page. So we're also getting an inventory page on Twitch. Basically what they normally are, it looks like is, right, so there's a quick little sort of FAQ about them. Twitch crates include community generated items, store discounts, and more surprises. But what they're there for is if, let's say, for example, how coming very soon partnered accounts are going to be able to, you're going to be able to buy games from them. They're the ones that are streaming at that time, and they get a percentage of it. Whereas if it's over $4.99, you get a crate while you're buying it. So it's kind of a sort of a little scratching your back as well.
It reminds me of the Steam summer sales, like when you would buy and get tokens towards badges and stuff. When you used to spend a certain dollar amount, you'd hit a threshold and they'd unlock something for you. And Punisher, yeah, I did see about Mad Cats. We can talk a little bit about that too.
Cool. That's fine. Yeah, I'll let you look at that because I've literally been out the loop today and yesterday of stuff online. So
Mad Cats is a controller company, and they filed for bankruptcy today.
That's not good.
No,
that's not.
So it sounds like they're going to be no longer making third-party supported controllers, and they usually had kind of the crazy turbo button X kind of controllers.
What does the turbo button do?
Exactly. And they always renamed their buttons weird things. So as somebody once put it, I would press X to salute, but I don't know where the fuck it is on the controller.
I'd turbo to Jason.
I see. I had a Mad Catz controller for a while, and it was pretty much identical. Like the buttons were, I think it was the which one was it? I don't have it anymore because it broke years ago. But it was more or less the same. Oh, it was the start and back buttons were elongated instead of the little pill, like how these guys are the little pill size.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bit closer to half of a bumper each, and that was the only difference.
Because back in my retail days, we did used to sell some Mad Cat stuff for the old PS2.
Yeah, so sad day. I mean, but granted, controllers are kind of a dime a dozen nowadays, anyways.
Yeah, and
especially
depends really. I mean, especially if you're going for the elite stuff, then it's
these are $15.
Especially if you have this freaking nonsense.
I got these for $15. I got my N64s for $15. Controllers are really cheap these days.
Yeah, I use an Xbox 360 plug-in controller for mine. It's Microsoft. You just plug it in. It's yep, I know what this is. You could totally use it.
I have that, and then I have two off-brand ones. The X isn't there. It's kind of great. It's just a big silver circle.
It's just the box controllers. They're box controllers.
The
yes.
circle.
Press circle for fun. Or just to turn up the Microsoft Live dashboard because that's a thing.
Or just press circle to go back and you go, oh shit, I didn't
And you
mean to
use
do
those
that.
controllers to play Destiny 2 on PC. It's gonna every week, people. I'm gonna tell you right now, every week it's gonna happen. I'll break them eventually, or I'll break.
Or just mute and go, what? What? What?
Well, remember,
Sorry, can't hear you.
you can mute me as much as you want. That's fine. I'm the one with the VOD.
Yeah, you just put it back in so you hear it. It's like-
They're all stuck listening to me talk about Destiny 2 for PC.
That's fine, so long as it brings them in. That's all right. You can talk about it as much as you like. But so, just quickly, briefly, I was just looking at the FAQ for these crates. Then there's one big thing in here saying, "Can I receive duplicate rewards from Twitch crates? If so, what can I do with these extra items?" Now, here's the kicker at the moment: is that it is possible to get duplications of an emote or chat badge as you open your Twitch crates. In this case, your inventory will only show one of that item, but there's no way to trade it at the moment. Which is a bit, ooh, hang on. Why would they not think that through before they started doing this sort of stuff? I mean, it's still coming soon, so they still have time to do it. But
Hey, Gio, how's it going?
I mean, they're also saying, can you earn multiple crates for a single purchase? Example, does a $50 game get you 10 crates? But you can only earn one crate per purchase. So if it goes over $4.99, you only get one. If you get one $50, you only get one.
You did, Clint? Let me see. If you did, I'm gonna have to make sure that thing pops up. I'm gonna have to see. Give me a second here. You guys continue talking.
No,
No,
that's
it's an emote.
yeah, that's an emote bit. They always do that sort of bit
Cool. Because I can
just
tell.
to try and get you to go actually do stuff. See, fake. See?
Cool. Good job. You know it's not fake.
Well, it is April Fool's Day over here now, so you can actually say.
Yeah,
that
it
was
is.
April.
I got my own
But
April
yeah.
Fool's thing too. Guess what, Clint? You're blocked.
Hey.
Hey! And April Fools! It's not April Fool's here.
Yeah, we didn't get a timeout.
Oh, I timed out Simmer by accident. I'm unbanning him. It's cool. Don't worry. I got
Looks
this.
like
I
we're
got
the
this.
April Fools here.
I know. I have way too much power. I know what to do. Kim.
You just sort of.
Kim's
you
here,
just sort of
guys.
pulled.
Kim's here. Can we say thank you
Kim.
for our Patreon subscriber? She's number one. Quite literally number one.
Thank you very much.
Not
Kim.
just over there, but also on my channel as well. She's the only Hergling.
But so far, let's go. It will get bigger. It will get better. And then more will join us.
She has
So-
to give me a topic, by the way. You need to give me a topic at some point, Kim, for us to discuss anything on anything. It could talk about like the economic situations of the trade deal collapsing between China and the United States, or Brexit. We tend to like to talk about Brexit.
Yeah, because that actually has a bit of a thingy.
Or breakfast, which is very different.
Because
Also important.
here's the thing about Brexit at the moment. There is a report going around on MCV that I saw today that about 40% at least of game companies are looking to relocate into Europe once this happens, because they're scared of what will happen with their workforce and being able to get Europeans over here to help them out and do dev work. So that they are actually scared of it. So it's like. So that's kind of relevant to Brexit at the moment. So, but yeah, shall we talk about the other big thing I was doing this week before we go on to what we've been playing?
Sure.
Because I went outside.
What?
I know.
Are
it
you
was-
okay?
Blasphemy.
Oh,
Do we need to talk?
I got a bit tense. I got a bit tense. I got a bit sweaty, and so I just need to sit down for a few minutes.
How
for
could you
a bit.
deal with so much space above your head? I
It
mean,
was hard, man.
it's infinite. It's quite literally infinite.
I know. I was freaking out. I took about 2 or 3 steps, and so someone had to be around us because it was like, oh no, what's going on here? This isn't good. I went to London because including tomorrow, well, depending on when you're listening to this, but the Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
In
when
like
this
3
show
weeks.
was recorded,
Let's be honest. At the point I'm going, it's 3 weeks.
3 weeks on YouTube, 6 months on iTunes. See, you're not denying it.
They're getting pitchforks ready. I'm doing something right if people are like wanting it and are demanding the pitchforks. So
Well, yeah, because people are talking to me when they're walking down the street. Go, I want it.
they're
on
not
this."
threatening me directly though. That's the problem. I hear it through you, and you're too polite in English to be like, James, fucking do your job.
Yeah, because I don't want to say that because it's like, it's like I feel bad saying it. It's like, you get your fucking finger out, son, and get working, okay?
So you went outside.
I went outside. I went down
Scary.
to London. Went to EGX at Res, which is held at the Tobacco Dock.
Okay.
And it's different to normal expos because the Tobacco Dock isn't like a convention center or hall. It's like these old fish markets. So it's not held fully indoors. It's got an open part of the roof, which is really great because it cuts down percentage chance of you getting expo lurgy because you got ventilation.
Or
It's a
just
fucking sky.
it lets all the sweat and shame kind of make its
Waft away.
If anybody's been to a con, you know that smell. It's like it's like Friday night, it's like on Sunday morning, Saturday night when people have been there for like 2 days, haven't quite showered. All the cosplayers have been in cosplay for like 2 days and just don't want to change out. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's just this waft that just comes boom, and smacks you right in the face. You're like, whoa, let's just take a moment here. Let's go outside and just be scared for a few minutes while we catch our breath.
I know, right? Do I want to breathe and be scared, or do I want to deal with this and feel safe? I'm in a rock and a hard place here.
Exactly. It's like, but you'd rather go outside and just take a breath at least, so you can actually try and not have your eyes searing from all the smell that's come at you. So it's different. It's a different setting. It's nice until you get into like the little pockets of shops that they have in it. Because they're still parts. When you get inside there, you will sweat because, again, it's an enclosed space and you have a load of people there. I like going there on the Thursday to Res because normally it would have been because of the BAFTA straight after in the same night, which was weird this time because I felt out of place not wearing a suit for all day. Because the last few times we went down there, we've had to. But it was actually also quieter. It didn't feel as big this year because there wasn't to me like a headline act. I mean, you had your Overwatch there again, but there was nothing there. There was nothing new. There was no big AAA that was going to come down and go, you must come down, you must play this. So it was heavily focused on indie stuff.
I know Paradox had a huge footprint there, and they were talking about the new universe. There are a bunch of their games that are coming out.
Because there was also Square Enix, the Square Enix Collective. There was had it in two bits. You had Battalion 1944, which is in one area, and then upstairs you had the actual rest of the indie stuff. So it was a quite nice mix. I didn't get to play many games. I didn't actually play a load of them. I think I played 3, but looked at a 4th, and it was like the new Fear Effect, which threw me off because I'm like. I was looking at the list of what games are coming out, and I was like, "There's a new Fear Effect coming out. Ooh, this looks interesting." Then I saw it, and it's like completely different setting. It's like it's more isometric view rather than it was how it was before. It's like 3D, sort of behind your third person sort of game. So there was that. It looks interesting, but when I started it, it was like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing because some guy just was playing it and left it. He just sort of put it down, walked off and carried on because he was there for about 10-15 minutes when I was around it. What I did play, however, and I'm going to say this before I get on to the other big parts of it, like who I met and going down to loading, whatever, but 3 games then. The first one we went to was Knights and Bikes, which is from one of the guys at Media Molecule, Rex, who's he was one of the designers of Little Big Planet, and and Tearaway. So he's doing this little side project, and it's a co-op game. At least two people, and it's like a little girl, little boy. You play like these little kids, and it's almost, it kind of feels like a nicer version of South Park. You know, it has the art style that looks more of akin to Night in the Woods, and it feels nice, but it just feels there's a nice little touch of humor in there. And so you start off, and it's like the setting is you're having to race to go to this like carnival. So you're racing on these little pedal bikes, and you have to start speeding up. And if you lose your breath, you get these little inhalers that come up where your character is, and you have to sort of stop pedaling to catch your breath. And our mate Steve, who was there with us, because he is a new dev along with my brother, because they're doing a project that I'm not sure whether I've mentioned on the show, so I'm not saying too much because it's one, NDA shit, and two, can't really say much about what they're doing. But so yeah, so he goes to me, he's like, "Is that offensive to asthmatics?" And I went, "No, it isn't. It's fine, mate." Because you know, teenage asthma. So I can say I can have the gauge of whether that would be offensive, you know. Then you sort of get to the part of the actual amusement park, and it turns into more sort of a tearaway, exploring around the area, getting from A to B, smashing things up. But yeah, it looks very, very promising. It should be out next month. A member of Tig Whippy last year helped the Kickstarter of this, so you should be seeing their name in the credits if you buy it, which I do recommend so far. And to sort of add a bit of presentation to the actual display in the stand, they actually used mountain bikes, little push bike mountain bikes to sit on while you were playing it. Which they were the kid-sized ones. You even got little toddler ones with little stabilizers. They had Spooky Dokies. Spooky Dokies in the wheels, which if no one in America knows about Spooky Dokies, there's like these little plastic ball things that you fit on in the wheels, and every time you go around, it just clack as you go as the wheel was spinning, which doesn't sound good, but when you were about 6 and you go, you make you put a smile on your face, and you're a child, so anything pleases you, you know. And we got Rob to actually sit on the little smaller one. You know, he did it himself. Like, so his great new bike that he's going to go out exercising on. We played a bit more Victor Vran. Now, I'm not sure if anybody knows about Victor Vran. Do you guys know about it? Diablo clone. It's like a Diablo clone. In that respect, and you know, same graphic. You know, shot your top-down view sort of thing. You have your potential magic and that. So there was a expansion that was there. It was called Motorhead Through the Ages, which I thought, hang on, they've put Lemmy in this, which would have been cool, but no, it didn't look like it. The only thing I really say about Victor Fran is because it seems like you need a high-end PC to play this, because I knew someone who was streaming it, and their PC kept crashing on them, and crashing on them, and crashing on them a lot when they were trying to stream this. So yeah, you need to have a pretty decent PC for it. And the other thing we've played, and this is a game I really recommend you get. It's currently in early access. It's on Steam for it's $4.99 at the moment. It's called Block Ships. It's like it almost feels like a twin stick shooter, but you only use one stick. You use A and B. A is to fire, B is to drop blocks that you connect. It's almost like Tetris. Now, basically, what you do is you start off with a core, and that's your main ship. And when you're flying it, you have to pick up blocks that connect to the core, which you have to use to protect it. You can also carry guns, which fire in a certain direction. So if you have, let's say, the like a red part of this piece of it, you have to make sure it is not aimed at your core, because if you start firing, it will fire at you rather than you wanting to fire at the enemy. It's like a 4-player game where you're just in this one block, and you have to sort of fly around this little area trying to take him out. It's almost kind of like Bomberman in that respect, you know. So, and it's also timed, so it's like best of 3. But when you're going through the match, the actual play area starts getting smaller and smaller and smaller, so it starts crushing. So you can't just sit in a corner just waiting for others to take each other out and then just go and try and fly in afterwards, because you have to start moving, because it will catch you out in the end. And they were doing a tournament there, and it kind of happened that Carl, who was hanging around with us, my mate Steve, brother Rob, myself, even though I was last to this one, they entered in the tournament, and each heat had one of us in. Because the only reason I was in because of dropouts, because I wasn't too fussed about playing stuff there. It was just I was sort of hanging around, looking for people, trying to talk to people, and just hang around and have a good time. And yeah, so all of us seemed to had this shot of going through. I almost won, because you have to get to, it's 3 points to win the game. I hit the first 2 straight out, and it's like, never played it, hardly really paid attention to the game itself or other people were playing. And I was so happy because I almost got through to the final. Rob did get through to the final, but didn't win. It's like, we got a stick of rock anyway from Brighton, so roundabouts, swings and roundabouts. Can't be too bad. At least he got something out of it, So, but to the guests now. To the people I saw there, I've got to give big shout outs to Carl, who's been on the show before. Sammy, who we have had on the show of other podcasts. We still want to get her on this one as well. Another streamer called Angie Oreo, who is mental at streaming. She likes to stream horror games at times, and it's brilliant watching her.
And when's she going to be on the show?
I don't know. I haven't asked her yet. I talked to her about it, but yeah, we'll do. It's another option. So managed to see them hang around with them at Loading Bar mainly. But there is a guy called Patrick Dane who I did speak to, who is interested in coming on the show. He's a sort of like a journalist. I think he's more freelance than anything else. I haven't seen him in anything big of late, but don't quote me on that. I'd have to double check. But yeah, spoke to him, known him for about a year or so, so he's interested in coming on. He's a really good guy, he's a nice guy. And then there is, on Thursday there was a guest there for a developer session. And he was very big in the creation of System Shock 2, Thief, and Bioshocks. Mr. Ken Levine was there. He was talking about all the stuff about getting into the games and how they went about developing them and his design and the ideas. And and one of the things he said, he came up with a good quote here. It's like, one of the things about creative people, especially for their ideas, is they have a ton of ideas. A lot of them won't get made because you have to actually pick and choose. You have to decide, okay, this just will not work. And he called it, it's like killing babies. So you have to go out and kill your babies. And it's just waiting for a quote going, Ken says, kill your babies. Which, as you see with you, Chris nodding, so you know this all too well.
Mm-hmm.
It's really great, really informative, fantastic dev session. And he said, well, yeah, I'm going to be hanging around, all day. So if you see me, just come and say hello. Little do we know that coming to see him and saying hello was almost immediately after the dev session finished, because we're standing outside. Rob's met a friend of ours, and she's there to see Ken herself, and it's like turns up and says, "Oh, there's Ken over there." He was just literally standing behind us. It was almost like, again, the Hideo Kojima moment from the first time I went to Rezzed. And so we waited for about half an hour to an hour and sort of start speaking to him. And he's a really, really humble and nice guy. I spoke to him, not really about games as such. I spoke briefly about it, but he asked for what I was sort of doing, and I was saying about streamer, podcaster, and also carer. And we sort of got around to more that aspect of things, and we were talking about it. And it's kind of weird, someone of that stature asking you if you want, for a hug for them. It's kind of like, okay, fair enough. Not going to say no, because You just don't really, do you? You just go, no, fuck off. You don't do that. So, yeah, it's just a really weird, nice moment. Right. Yes, we got pictures taken. Yes, he signed bits. The thing we should have done was taking my fucking, my Bioshock big PS3 special edition I got with a vinyl record and the soundtrack. Should have taken that to get signed, but you don't think of it at that time, do you? You don't think you're going to actually meet these people. You think they're just going to come on stage, they're going to talk for about half an hour to an hour, and then they're going to fuck off again. So you don't get a chance to meet them. But that didn't happen, so that was a major highlight of the day. And yeah, so I think that's the highlight of the year so far. And then we went down to Loading Bar, got had a few drinks, and just went home.
You're gonna say pissed.
I
You're
was going
gonna
to say pissed, but then I realised I wasn't getting pissed. Didn't feel like I was getting pissed. So I had to have a lot more than that. But yeah, that's pretty much my experience of Res. Now turn my attention to MCM in May and then EGX in September, when we actually start doing some proper sort of talking to devs and sort of saying, do you want to come on, do your stuff? We want to get your games on our streams. Come on, give us codes and stuff to like. You want interviews, because that's going to be different. Something I haven't done in a couple of years. I need to get back into the routine of doing. But yeah, we can now move on to what we've been playing, and I'm going to leave this one for a short one to James. I'll let you go first, mate.
I'm gonna go pretty quick, mainly because the stuff I've been playing is Mass Effect Andromeda, which is still really fun. I've got a lot of footage for it, but the first major story plot twist that we had, things didn't record, so I lost it. The entire plot twist of it. Hour and a half of footage. Gone. I do have a save point from before then, but that means I have to replay an hour and a half of the game. And so I'm slowly debating with myself and with you, our viewers, do you want me to go back and play the hour and a half? Or should we just say, well, this video experience has been fun, but let's just go make this a stream now and stream it and have fun with it. I'll leave that up to you. I'll leave a discussion. Comment below. If you're watching, comment below. Let me know.
Poll it. Give a poll as well.
Let's do a poll. We'll do a poll. Poll it. We're going to poll it.
Straw poll.
Straw poll. Or straw poll it now or later or some point. Anyway. Zelda. I got a Switch. I have Zelda. I've been playing Zelda. I've been streaming Zelda. It's fun. It's hard. I died a lot. Like, a lot. But it's kind of like they are kind of right where like it kind of just throws you into it and says, okay, tutorial's done, good luck, there's the main quest over there, figure it out. It's really bad if you have a completionist level of wanting to do it, because there's so much to do.
Have they almost Dark Souled it then in terms of difficulty?
It's not that hard, especially because like I mean, I was playing on like this with this things, so it's not a real controller. Just
it's a fake controller.
It's a controller made of lies.
It wants to be a controller. But I got a Pro one now. It just came in the mail today, so I actually play the game. It gives you more things you have to think about than a normal Zelda game. In fact, you have to worry about managing weapon durability, how many arrows you have. That kind of stuff kind of creates a new wrinkle and everything. And there are others. There are ways to like get out of things, and ways to use your abilities and stuff to like help out with your fight. But I find that most of my thing is it's actually I think it's part of the samurai tactics. Is like I'll start off by like bowing arrow as many guys as I can, then I sprint away, turn around, whichever's the fastest guy I kill, then I turn around and sprint away, and then the next fastest guy catches up with me, I turn around, I kill him, and it's just you just running around and just leading guys around. Granted, I only have 4 hearts, so like I have to use these kind of tactics and not good weapons.
Gotta
But-
roll out the old kite.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Hope
doing.
the wind blows nice.
That's exactly what it is. I'm just kiting the shit out of things. I imagine that once like I get better armor and stuff later, I'm not wearing just a t-shirt and flexing my link pecs. It'll be better. But I just got the first set of armor, and my defense went from 0 to 3. When like the best set of armor is 84 on one piece. I have 3 total.
So you have a long way to go then.
Yes, I have many miles to go. But I've also finally I've been playing Destiny because Destiny 2 is coming out. But also they have the Age of Triumph now, which is kind of like Destiny's last hurrah, where they're like going through. They've remade all the raids, all of these. You can kind of go through and kind of get like this final hurrah. And I'm kind of like space opera RPG. Third person. Fantasy RPG third person. I need a looter shooter in my life. Chris plays Anarchy. I don't want to pull him away from Anarchy to do Borderlands. I can play Destiny. Destiny's fun. Then I sit there and go, I'm going to play Destiny. Wow, I'm playing by myself. By myself playing Strikes. Looks at friends list.
By myself.
And the thing is too, like I could easily just go on like they have like looking for group sites. I could do that. But the problem is I'm shit. Or at least I believe I'm shit at the game. Yeah, the same thing, Gio. I want to do it because I can get a free T-shirt with my name on it. Like if I put time into the game, I can get a T-shirt with my gamer tag on it. Which I'm glad is not like sexy ass XXX robot triple sex whatever it is.
It's all about free T-shirts.
Yeah. If Bungie was to send you a free T-shirt for just playing their game for a ridiculous amount of time, wouldn't you?
I guess it depends on the game really. Just like, do I really want the T-shirt if it's this bad?
I mean, the question is, do you want a shirt?
I've got shirts.
Do you want a free shirt? And the answer is usually for me, yes.
Yes.
So.
Do you want a free shirt for playing a video game?
See, I don't even care what it's for.
It's like, what is the
It's a
shirt?
free
What's
shirt. I'm like, gimme.
Yeah, free shirt with your gamer tag on it, no less.
Kind of do that for thing, you could go to like Zazzle, but that would cost a bit. Not as much as getting the game. But,
my gamer tag is a freaking goat, so it would just say a freaking goat on it.
But it has like the cool like crest of arms and everything, so it'd be like this sexy crest of arms and a freaking goat.
Now, is this T-shirt offer worldwide or is it just US and
It's
Canada?
worldwide.
Because sometimes there was like, this is only open to the 50
I think
states.
Bungie has enough money to send things to frickin' Europe.
I don't know, they may be cheap.
Or, sorry, the UK and Europe. Let's specify them separately now.
Yep.
We have to say that now. Because it's super official now.
Yeah, from Wednesday it is. From Wednesday it's like the UK's now looking at going, hello? Oh, see, that's what you're doing. Okay, that's fine, bye. We're almost like that neighbour that wants to try and borrow your lawnmower, but just doesn't want to bring it fully back. We just like take it. We could keep like a wheel or something. It's like, we don't really need the wheel, but we want to keep it anyway.
No, you guys, what's happening right now is just like two people just had a huge fight, like the fight that ends the relationship, and they're just standing in the kitchen right now, just going, "This is it, huh? Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna start packing my things. Yeah, I know. But I think you should start trying. Yeah, so I'm gonna pack some stuff, and I'm gonna leave for a little while, and I'll come back tomorrow and get the rest of my stuff when you're not here and drop off my keys." Like, you're at that level right now. Like, just sitting in the kitchen, just realizing it's over.
It's just we're just not sure.
And you're just trying to figure out who keeps the cat, Scotland, who keeps the dog, Northern Ireland. That's just maybe let
We'll
them
give the-
decide themselves.
We'll give the turtle to Wales, because it's not too much of an issue to try and look after it. You just got to give it, give it water and lettuce, and it would be fine for that.
I love that you're shitting on the Welsh.
They don't care.
It's all right. It's all right. I can pick on Scottish another day.
So yeah, that's
So you've been playing?
that's all I've been playing. Well, I also played in Chris's RPG, which we can talk about.
Yeah, because it can flick over. Chris can continue then after. Riz?
Well, I
What
want
he's
his.
been
I
playing.
want. Well, Chris can kind of give it. He is the game master, so I can let him set the scene, and I can kind of tell you as a player's perspective what it was like.
Okay. So, situation was bleak. One of their friends was already abducted by goblins and taken to a series of orcs. They were at an outpost about a few days' ride from the farm, and the farm was where these orcs were holed up. Now, en route to go rescue their friend, they see about 5 orcs marching up towards them, friend in tow. They say, "Hey, we want to strike a deal." They strike a deal. Now, the orcs, they're looking to take that outpost. There's a lot more orcs on the way, broken up into smaller camps. The two goblin slash not goblin slash kobold chroniclers are enjoying this and taking note. And this is, I'm going to let you guys know something. At the same time, James learns something. Something that happened in game. So, they eventually settle on a deal. Things are going good. They start marching towards a bridge that has been clogged with old broken down war equipment. They get to the bridge and there's a huge goblin horde. We're talking like over 1,000 goblins. Just this massive swarming green and hatred and stench. And it's going their way. So they start clearing this bridge. Eventually, a few goblins start trickling in. The orcs are focusing on clearing the bridge, and the party starts defending. And it's looking pretty rough at some points.
Yeah, a lot of people almost died. I
I'll
could
let
have.
you tell the specifics of the battle. Go ahead.
The best way to describe it is that we kind of did the hold the line strategy. We created a bottleneck. We held it for as long as we could. Our warlock was playing melee warlock, which was he was just killing like swaths of goblins every turn, but he had to be in melee combat with them. So my guy was taunting them to him, my character, the paladin, to then the warlock could kill them. My dice went cold about halfway through the fight, and I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. And then like the waves hit, and like when you're sitting there realizing that when the DM says, "Well, bring the next wave of goblins on," and there's no spots to bring the goblins on anymore, and you're fighting a retreat, and I'm dragging the unconscious corpse of the warlock. Trying to shove a health potion in his mouth so he doesn't die. Yeah, no, it was bad. It got bad. There was like 20 goblins surrounding me and the other person, and then the thing happened.
So the thing that happened that he's talking about is that the orcs found just the battering ram piece. And instead of pushing it off the bridge, they decided to rotate it and roll it down to create a gap. So, gave our heroes a chance to run away. Because, I mean, orcs are fighting creatures, but they're not going to fight over 1,000 goblins.
They like fighting. They're not suicidal. Neither were we.
They know their limits.
I think
So,
I think the quote I used was Crod. I don't know how many goblins it's going to take to kill me, but I know how many they're going to use. And it's all of them.
Uh-huh.
But yes, we ran away. Valiantly ran away, but ran the fuck away.
You use the server in defense.
There was a heart-to-heart that you had with one of the NPCs.
The old crew.
From the old crew. So he is the crew is the current crew is what we're calling the new crew, and his character's previous adventuring party and a series of higher level characters are being called the old crew. And so a little bit of perspective, they're part of the early story arc. So I'm kind of working each player's personal stories arc at a time. So the first few bits are going to be kind of more main character towards one character, but everyone's going to have their time to shine. And it's going to jump from person to person. So there's going to be bits and bobs, and we're going to show cooler things. So he had a discussion with Seraphine, who was a warlock sorcerer who was in the old crew before and was seeming to be in some trouble. Now, what he found out was that there was something wrong with her hands. And there was this whole discussion, this heart-to-heart that you guys had.
Yep.
And what you didn't know was that hiding not 10 feet away from you were the kobolds. And they have documented this. So there's these kobolds that follow them around documenting pretty much everything because they accidentally found a magic book that does things. They wrote that they had to become goblins, and so they did. But then they started writing about how they're not goblins, and now they're back to their original race. So it's interesting. I'm going to see how this goes. It's going to be great.
In their chronicles, my character is probably Dick. I'm the biggest dick in the thing. Considering there was a good 4 hours... No, like 2.5 days of like me trying to get the book from them and them just slapping my hand.
Yep. It was kind of one of the greatest parts. So, from there... Whoa. Where did this overflow come from? So they're doing their traveling. They're going, and they learned from the orcs earlier that there was a deal between the captain they were kind of being commanded under, and now they're learning that there is more to just the deal to begin with. But there are probably some secrets to be unlocked.
Lots of secrets, and everything points back to the outpost.
So far
with the orcs, and that's where we're headed next.
Yep, they found on the back of the map. They found a series of draconic etchings that seem to make no sense.
And the rest of the party is trying to figure out. And I will not be. Just for 2 reasons. I'm not a puzzle guy, and I'm pretty sure my character wouldn't do that. So.
Which is fair.
He's got other things he's worried about than Draconic runes. Can't even read Draconic.
Yeah, most of the party doesn't understand Draconic at all. I don't need that in there. So yeah, that is our quick recap of the Corindal Chronicles, which is the name of the campaign.
So is there anything else you've been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Anarchy Online. That's what I'm doing right now. As per norm, I am clearly totally engrossed in a game while doing the podcast. Nothing new there. it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy because I can actually afford to get all the shinies and all the super good things. I don't have to stay a froob, as we like to call them. So right now what I'm doing actually is I gathered up all of the gems from the loot, and pretty much only the gems, and now I'm just making them nicer. I'm actually cutting the gems, and I'm using like a tool to turn them from like rough rubies into well-cut rubies, and then sell them back to the shops as shop food because they're super easy to do that with. And you get like anywhere from a 5% increase to I've seen up to 4 times its normal worth. So absolutely worth. Some of these are not worth at all. Some of them are giving me like absolute junk for stuff. I've been playing some of The Forest, as you can see in the background with the video, with James. That's a lot of fun, doing a lot of survival games. I picked up Osiris New Dawn. Also an interesting game. I just recently figured out how to start building things like bases in the game. That one is difficult as hell. It is not an easy game, at least of all solo. I imagine it would be easier with multiplayer, but yeah. Yeah. It's just been those and Anarchy.
I think Osiris is also on sale on Steam this weekend.
I don't know. I bought it like 4 days ago, so I have no idea if it's going to be on sale.
I got an email from Steam.
So I don't know what you've been playing then, mate? Have you been playing a lot of other stuff?
Just a Metric Fructose Anarchy. I played a little bit of Binding of Isaac, but Metric Fructose Anarchy. And after tonight's stream, I'll be playing Anarchy as well, open to join up and everything, and having the community come join too if you want.
Yeah, absolutely, because we're all about the inclusion. So if you're fine with it, mate, I am going to do what I've been playing.
Do it.
Even though I'm not going to say a great deal about some of the stuff, because it's the usual sort of stuff, and it's just the usual sort of bits. We have been challenged this week to Disc Jam by Ed and Nameless, who decided to challenge myself and my brother, which is like, okay, fair enough, we'll go for it. Last week I did a one-on-one challenge with Ed, and he realised just how well I play it. This is like, man, you're really good at this. Oh, well, I accept that. I'll take it. I won't do I'm lucky. I'm not that great as Fluke. I won't do a Curtis on that one. Yeah, I'm quite good at it. I'm gonna have the ego stroke on that one. I also completed Red Dead Redemption last week. I did the normal Sunday service bit, and I was getting towards the end of it and getting to the point with, the moment in Red Dead Redemption. The bit where we have you played it? Do you want spoilers?
I don't care.
Well, put it this way, right? Okay. Your character, John Marston, is double-crossed by the government. They send the army out to him, against him.
Surprise.
You take out waves of the army, and then a load of federal agents show up. They surround the barn you're in. You come out, use Deadeye to try and kill them all off. They shoot you and kill you. You're dead.
Typical Western ending.
Yeah. But then your son Jack takes over. Now I got to the part on the first bit of this where you just have to like trying to do normal mundane stuff on a farm. You're trying to get John Marston to have a normal farmer's life. He's done with all this outlaw shit. So there's this one mission where you have to have like firing at these crows, because these crows are nicking your corn and just ruining it. And that sort of stumped me for a little bit, because I was trying to be too crafty and use too much Deadeye on there, and I was trying to blow them up with dynamite, because I thought, hang on, there's a crowd of them there, dynamite, take them out in one go. Because it has happened before with other people, so no, didn't happen. I was getting towards the 2 hours, and I was in danger of this being the mission that was stumping us. So I managed to somehow fluke it. I can't remember how I did it. And I thought, it's 2 hours. I just feel like playing this more. I just wanted to finish it then because, you know, when you become Jack, you're still doing sort of kind of these bits, but it's not as much for Jack because you sort of wait a few years and grow up and, you know, become a man essentially from this rather than a kid, like this teenage boy that's just listening to his dad and just being rebellious against him, saying you were never here, blah blah blah, why should I listen to you, all this sort of stuff, and going hunting a bear on your own, so you know, as John Marsden, you have to come and save your son's ass because he's going to get torn apart. To this sort of almost like trying to be a badass and trying to revenge on it for his dad, his killer. But because how good the story was, and because I had the itch, I decided to do double stream and just complete it there and then. So now, this Sunday, new month, can start Dishonored because Gio, he platinumed Dishonored 2 on Monday. So it's kind of like a tag out, tag in sort of thing. It's like, right, okay, I'm done with Dishonored, now your turn. And we'll play it slightly differently. And that's one of the things to look out for his streams of Dishonored 2, and when I get round to Dishonored 2 as well, to see how different we play it. Other games, let's have a look. I mean, I played a bit of Quiplash with a streamer called Eerie Pancake, which, you know, Quiplash was fun with her because she has this little community going up, and it's a nice little community, but there are some sick bastards in it, which is why I fit in so well, it seems. I played this other game, and this is probably what Ed and myself are going to be doing as a backseat gaming, called Neurovoider. It's top-down twin-stick shooter where you play as a droid, and there's 3 classes of droid in there. Then you can swap them in and out if you have like complete sets. And you build your droid up. You have things like legs, transporter, lens, and left and right gun. And so you can build this up over 20 levels because it's 20 levels of procedurally generated, just dungeons almost. And you get a boss like every 5th level. And you can also get bonus levels as well. So like you complete this in a certain amount of time, blah, blah, blah. You know, all the bonus stage stuff you've seen in other games. But it's quite fun. And it's going to be the first backseat gaming game where we're using Ed's remote play for both of us playing. So you're not going to get as much me taking the piss out of Ed on this one, because I think we're going to be both taking the piss out of each other with how bad it will be. Let's see, anything else? I mean, I could update on Horizon. I've got to a major part of the story in Horizon. I'm level 40 now, and the revelation that's hit on this made me go, okay.
Told you.
That's fine. That's cool. Yep. Yes, you did. And so did Gina. Because the part that Gina said to me, she's like, you wanted me to hurry up and get through the story because it was that one mission that really gets your emotions going. And I'm going to say it without spoiling too much. And you might get this. It's like episode 3, the pit fight of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I blacked out the majority of that movie, so.
You know, it's one of the decent parts of it where you got the monsters coming at Anakin, and you know, Padme is sort of chained up. That bit, if you remember that bit, then you'll know exactly what part in the story of Horizon I'm talking about.
Sorry, I'm just remembering the line. She's dying because her heart is broken. I can't.
I hate sand. It's the wrong film, I know, but that's the only. That's. I can't think of. That's what comes to brain.
I've got the high ground. Not the younglings.
Not the younglings. I love the picture of like youngling beer, just like photoshopped over all of the kids' faces. Not the younglings.
So, he killed them all. He killed them all.
He was so hammered he couldn't fight.
I'm getting to. There's also I've been trying to do collectibles while I've been on the way of completing the story, so it's kind of I've gone the Witcher route again with certain aspects of this. But there's one vantage point that I need this stealth armor that you can get. When you get the 5 power cells and you can go down into the the ruins.
It's shield armor. It's not stealth armor. It's shield armor.
Oh.
It makes you invulnerable. Like you can take like 10 hits from anything.
Because there's a vantage point in the north